Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426 and today we have the review of the Beastbox Shovelhead by 52Toys. So once again, I'm a big fan of the 52Toys line, especially the products from 52Toys, especially their Beastbox, Megabox, and Beast Drive line. So I have been collecting them for a while, and while I do not own every single one of the every single product from the lines, I am trying to get myself as much as updated as well, of course, because number one, there are certain molds or Beastbox products I am not able to get because they are either like some sort of event exclusive or some sort of exclusive. So and most of those exclusives tends to be like recolor, so if I have like the original one, yeah, I don't really care too much unless it's something that, like, in terms of design color wise, it's way much better, then that's a different story. But either way, once again, this is one of their latest ones. There are a few more that are already out or are coming out as well. Just want to give you guys an update that yes, I have received this one as well, which a review will be coming soon. And yes, I am going to try to pre-order there's another like a squid type version which I am going to order or pre-order, because my usual sellers, I'm not sure what's going on with them, but once again, they're having a little bit of trouble getting updates. So yeah, I will try my best, but once again, if no one's selling it, then I have to find different routines to get these products. Alright, so let's see what we got. So once again, this is Shovelhead, and by the box art or design, you can tell it's a boar mech or a warthog mech. So once again, we don't see these type of mechs too often. When it comes to animal mechs, it's always like wolves, tigers, lions, eagles, or sometimes dinosaurs. But once again, I don't think we often see a boar mech. So I think that is a very, very cool concept. And once again, here we have the back of the box design here, and then we have on top of the box here, there we go. This is the design team that designed this. So this is one of their actually older original teams. I believe this is the same team that actually made Dio as well. So once again, well done, very, very well done. So let me get the box away and let's talk about components. So first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously Shovelhead itself. Once again, we have them in their box charger in their cube form as well. The transformation is fairly simple if you know how it works, but once again, you're gonna need to do it a few times to memorize it. And once again, we do get the typical PVC card and catalogs and such, so no big deal or no change there. We do get its bio card or collectible card. Here we have Shovelhead. Once again, we get this thing right over here, but I'll get into that later. And here we have the back of the cards. Back of the card, we have a simple art, same as the box art. And looking at the stats here, being a a boar type thing, I would assume it should have more speed, but oh well. And you can pause the video to read the bottom text if you want to do so. Low intelligence, but high defense, strength, and courage. So I guess they kind of balance the whole thing out as well. So once again, pretty well done. And we do get the manual. So the manual does show from cube to boar mode or boar to cube mode, so it shows both ways, so no need to worry about it, because I know certain companies only show one way, and do it the other way, you basically have to reverse it, which isn't exactly easy. Alright, let me get this out of the way and see what we got. So here we have the box charger. Once again, the mechs turn into 5cm perfect cubes here, and once you did the transformation perfectly, you are able to store them inside like this with no problem. If it's like a tight squeeze where you're forcing it in, that means you didn't do the transformation correctly. So make sure you did it correctly. Or sometimes, depending on the design here, you will have to put it in a certain direction or a certain angle to make sure it goes in properly, because once again, design wise as well. And once you have these in their chargers, the good part is that you can either stack them, or you can connect them together side by side, or you can stack them up as well. And then if you have more, you can stack them up and then connect them to the side to have a better collection, or you can fill up your whole entire wall. So that is pretty good. And here's just another sneak peek. Now some people already did review these, so no big deal. Alright, so here we have the boar or Shovelhead in its cube form. Now once again, these days 52Toys, what they're doing with their Beastbox line is that depending on the design or Beastbox, they sometimes also give out these bonus parts, and depending on the distributor or seller, they will give it for you for free, or they will charge you like an extra $1 or $2, or even up to $5 where I've seen. It will give you that extra bonus part. Now the bonus part isn't exactly necessary to this, but it does give out more play value as well. Of course, keep in mind those bonus parts will not be like combined with the Q form, so you're gonna have to store those individually or separately, so keep that in mind. So for this guy, as the name implies, Shovelhead, they do give you some sort of like a bulldozer type, like a front part as well for like moving or pushing stuff. Once again, it was a very, personally was an awkward design, so I did not pre-order that part. So all right, so anyway, I'll be right back with the boar transform, so let's see what we got from there. Alright, I'm back. So here we have Shovelhead in its boar form, and once again the transformation is fairly simple depending on how you look at it, of course, although it took me about 4 to 5 times to understand on how certain parts move or how they transform, or because sometimes when you're transforming something you need to understand like the process or which why certain actions are done to do the transformation here. So it took me about 4 to 5 trials to fully understand, but once again, very, very well done. So before we start with any articulation, now some people tend to get some confusions on how big these things are. Now, as I mentioned, when it's in its cube form, it is a perfect 5 centimeter cube. So, but once it transforms, depending on the beast box, it could become way bigger, longer, or even taller. So, in this case, so here is a quick comparison in terms of with Gunpla. So here is a 1:144 scale HUC Nemo, and then. Or Nemo, so sorry about that. And then here we have a typical 1:64 scale Hot Wheels car. So once again, height-wise, obviously it's going to be much shorter, but once again, you get the general idea. When I exclude the tail, it's like this. So you should get the general idea, and length-wise, yeah. So it really depends on the design and situation here. All right, and then finally, when this thing was released, I forgot if it was this one or the other one that got released first, but I definitely think they were trying to go with a Timon and Pumbaa reference, because well, I believe at some point this guy released as well. Now this one you only see one, but the cube form is basically composed of 4 of these guys. So there was a set here, and then they actually posted a lot of pictures with this guy and with these guys together. So they're technically a team. They operate together as well, kind of like a nice Timon and Pumbaa reference. And if you actually read the car, it does mention that this guy does operate with the DAS, which is Desert Assault Squad. So yeah. They actually do also have a penguin version of this, so I don't know, maybe those are the reference for the penguins of Madagascar, who knows. But anyway, so we've seen the basics and the lore of this guy. Let's see how he is built. So once again, excellent design choice, and once again I do like the nice touches of clear orange here and there, like the tusk, this cheek, I think the cheekbones maybe, and then this part, which I don't think is exactly equipment, but once again, nice touch there. Now I do wish the eyes, the eyes would also be clear pieces, but the eyes and then below here are colored painted as well, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But once again, I do like the fact that they did an excellent job of making it look like a warthog or a boar, whatever you call it these days as well. Now once again, the only part that I do feel like the 52Toys Beastbox line kind of lacks in terms of design, or sometimes I'm not sure the word technology is a correct term, but once again, sometimes they kind of skim on the mouthpiece. So once again, unless mine is a defect product, there was no mouth on mine, so there's no mouth to operate, so it's just this. So but once again, they did a really good job on the design itself, so very well done. And then, despite how this looks, this thing does actually have articulation on the head here. So, of course, because of the transformation. So you can go down that much, up a little bit more, and then you do have a side-to-side movement. 360 twist is not possible because this is not a ball joint. You can see how the joints are working here. So side to side and up and down is pretty much what you get as well. And then we get this part, which is technically part of the transformation, so this thing does not really do anything for now. And I do believe if you have the DAS squad, you can kind of put these guys on the back, or whatever combination you can do. Alright, so now let's get the legs. So let's look at the front legs here. The front legs are very, short and tiny. So once again, they have these connections, kind of like a butterfly joint. You can see the shoulders can move forward and backward, but this is more for the transformation here. And then we have the forward bend, only a little bit, but we do get a nice extra joint here, so it can go up. And then we have the feet here that does move just a little bit. So not a lot in terms of articulation, but keep in mind this is a four-legged animal, so I assume articulation will be definitely limited compared to, like, you know, like a humanoid mech. So that's something that you just gotta take in. Now before we go to the back legs, there's all these stuff going on here on the back, but this is more for design and cube transformation things as well, so that you can move these three parts together or individually if you want to do so. So if you want to like swap or change like positions or certain things, you can technically do that. And once again, we have all these ports for if you want to attach extra small weapons, missile launchers, or even like a gigantic cannon, you are able to technically do so as well. Although I do wish there was a port for on the back, so you could, you know, kind of balance the whole thing out. And once again, we have these ones on the legs, so the legs can go a little bit more freely forward and backwards. 360 is slightly tricky because there are a lot of parts blocking the way, and the front leg, while it is a ball joint, but because of the top section here on the shoulder, there's nothing you can do. It's more blocking the way. But once again, you can almost go 360 if you force it, but not gonna force it. And then we have this part that rotates, but this is more for the transformation here. And then like the front leg, we do have a little bit, you know, extra movement here on like a butterfly, not a butterfly joint, but we do have the shoulder, like the back forward and backward movement here, and the whole butt or the bottom section also does have its own articulation, so you do have a little bit of a wiggle here as well. Now this part does also kind of fold downwards, but also that's all for more for the transformation, so not really meant for the boar articulation here. And then bend wise, we do get a forward bend because of the leg structure. Backwards, not so much. And then the feet also has a little bit of extra bend going on here, mostly for the transformation. And then finally, we have these parts that can move. You can kind of fold them in if you want to do so, or you can kind of, there we go. You can fold them downwards like the way how the picture is shown. Now, there is this sliding gimmick of the orange piece here. So let me just, yeah. You have this sliding gimmick, but it's not really mentioned in the manual, so I'm not sure what this does. You don't really move this orange piece by itself when you're doing the transformation, so I do find it a little bit odd. You're mostly moving this part around, so kind of interesting why they did that. Or maybe it's supposed to be some sort of reference, or maybe there's like a future project that's going to involve this guy in. Because once again, once they make a mold, they will make different color variations, but they will also work on the same mold to make a different type of animal. So who knows, maybe they'll make another different boar, or maybe, I don't know, maybe a buffalo or something else, who knows. But yeah, that is pretty much it for Shovelhead. So once again, articulation wise, it's not the best articulated animal out there, but once again, being a boar type animal, I don't think, you know, articulation is a huge thing. And then once again, I do like the fact that these definitely look like thrusters, like kind of like from Zoids. So it does make sense. Being a boar, it's going to definitely tackle or charge its enemies, or if you want, you can attach more stuff here with your if you have any spare, you know, equipment as well. Anyway, that is pretty much it for the review. So this was the review of the 52Toys Beastbox Shovelhead. Once again, I do personally like the design here. Definitely looking forward for their other future updates as well. So once again, if you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. And once again, do look forward for this guy's review as well. Until then, see you guys next time.